and this is how we gonna be celebrating Spurs win against United. Yes, yes, people, welcome back to the channel. And here I've got a chocolate to celebrate Chelsea win. I mean, Spurs win against United. It's a mixed feelings around the world, but I won't ever and ever forget Limzip in Moscow in 2008, Chelsea versus United Champions League final. This is how it feels to play. I mean, your other counterpart from the same league in the final of European Cup and to win, undeserved. I can't forgive. I can't forget. I still very much remember what we went through in Moscow in 2008, May 2008. It's still unforgettable, guys. And today, cheers to sports. We are celebrating this with a chocolate, guys. If you know one of these chocolates is called London chocolate. If you need one of these, reach out to me. I'm gonna get it to you. Big up to sports. Thank you for winning United in the European finals. And we celebrate, we fierce with along this chocolate, guys. Come on. Yes, yes, that's how it feels. You know, that's how it feels to get beaten in European finals. I still remember, I mean, 15 years ago, or is it 15 years ago? Yeah, I think so. 15, 16, 17 years ago, or something. We lost what should have been our first Champions League glory to Manchester United. And I personally believe that we deserve to win that game. There's a lot of, I mean, ups and downs in the game. Drogba getting a red card, and as well as, of course, John Terry missing out on the penalty kick. But to be realistic, we deserve a win from that game. And today we are here celebrating Spurs, even if they are still one of our biggest rivals in London. I know the banter of Europe, champions of Europe, you never sing that. We might not be able to go back again to that against Spurs, but I'm still very much happy that Spurs was able to fight for us. And this is how it feels, you know, to win an European trophy undeserved. Yesterday, we know Spurs doesn't deserve to win that game, to be honest. One shot on target for the whole game is unbelievable, guys. But it's time for Spurs and for United to feel, the same way how we feel in Zurich in 2008. So, guys, let's jump on to the realistic. What's up, people? How are you doing, guys? Today, I'm so happy to be back here to have some chat with you guys. We're going to be talking about, some couple of news around Chelsea. It's been a dramatic week. There's a loads of information out there to talk about, but we've just kind of picked some couple of things that we believe that you definitely, would like to say, would like to comment. So yeah, we'll be talking about, uh, you know, uh, some sort of, some sort of reality. That's when Drogba had a red card and Terry slipped and missed the penalty. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I still very much remember this every time, and I was like, I wish we lifted that trophy that day. I can still remember. You know, that was one of the saddest day being a football fans, to be honest. But it is what it is. We are back with two Champions League winner today, and it's just something to be proud of, guys. So let's get on the first one. It says Sancho, goodbye, guys. That's something that I really, really to me don't wanna see at the moment. But realistically, it looks like Sancho future at Chelsea is very, very shaky at the moment. Very, very shaky at the moment. I don't know what's going on with the board, what they are thinking, but to me, it's not just something that I want to, listen to at the moment, because we've got Conference League, of course, to focus on. We've got, you know, the last game of the season, which is very, very much important, just like the final in Warsaw. So at this moment, I don't really, think it's the right time to start discussing about, the players that are gonna stay or the players that doesn't gonna. I mean, that won't be staying, especially when you talk about the players that are still into the squad, they're still playing week in, week out. They need to just focus on what's on the ground and just focus on the two games and get a win for us. But on the same side, we need to look at it in another perspective. It's a news that came out today, and it was all about Sancho moving back to United, and But let's jump on this, guys. Do you guys think Sancho needs to uh, go back to United, to be realistic? He's had a very, very dramatic season. A couple of games he wasn't in form. He wasn't giving his best, but I would confidently say in the past 5 6 games, Sancho has really made a very huge impact in this Chelsea squad. And I don't know what they are thinking in their mind, but let's be realistic. We need a player like Sancho. I don't know what you guys are thinking, to be honest, but to me, I feel like it's not that kind of a player that you can rely on, to be honest. But it's a player that can come in and make a difference. Especially when you're trying to rebuild a team, you need those guys that have been there. Sancho has been in a couple of good occasions. Yeah, so if Sancho seems to be happy at Chelsea, then there's issue. Enzo Enzo to Madrid, news coming at wrong time. We ought to focus on the next two games. Yeah, Tato, that's what I'm saying. It's devastating to see that at this point we're still discussing about transfers, and I mean, you're talking about the guys that are going into two final games to fight for the club. I mean, I don't think that's the proper time to discuss about this. We're meant to focus on what we've got at hand. Go in there on Sunday, kick out. I mean, Nottingham Forest. Prepare for. We've only got about 48, 72 hours to prepare. To fly to Warsaw to play. Real Betis, and I'm just kind of a little bit skeptical that who are sort of people that are getting involved in this kind of a news. Let these guys breathe. Let them prepare for what they've got to do. Two crucial games coming up, and I'm just fuming to start seeing different news about Sancho, Enzo Fernandez, and no, these guys are meant to focus on what is what is being realistic, and what is being realistic is taking on Forest on Sunday, getting into the Champions League, and of course focus on how to win the Conference League. So, but realistically, to me, I would say keep Sancho. Is just happy at Chelsea. He's happy at Chelsea, and that's most important. When players are happy, they are comfortable where they are. They can improve. They can, anything can happen. And realistically, looking at the deep insight, the deep analysis, the deep statistic of Sancho this season, he's not that bad, man. He's not that bad. Comparing to the kind of squad that we're trying to build. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not bad. He's had a very good game. He had a very good game against Tottenham. I mean, scored the lonely goal against War Club recently. I forgot. So this guy is someone we can keep for that amount, certain amount of money. 20 to 25 million pounds is not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. I'm telling you, we are gonna struggle if we go into the transfer window and start looking for a winger, where you try to go into the transfer window, buy a winger for 50, 60 million pounds, and they need to come back. They need to come to the Premier League and adapt. That's gonna take them about 2 seasons. But right now we've got Sancho. He's been there. He's played in the Premier League. Last season he was in Champions League final. Let him be. Let him do the job. Let's see what he can do next season. He's still very young. 25 million pounds for a player like Sancho. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. I know it's a risk, but the reality uh, is still a kind of a player that we can rely on in some games. We might be going to Champions League next season. We need experienced squad, and you're not gonna get experienced squad when you try to chase away the ones you've had, the ones that have been through the season with a new manager. They knows what the manager wants, and realistically, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but for me, I would keep Sancho. I would definitely keep Sancho. I would definitely keep Sancho. It's not that the best, kind of a player, but when you look at uh, what we are on at the moment, I don't really believe we need to go into the transfer window and buy a kind of a winger. I would prefer to go into the transfer window, buy a two striker, then you can give the likes of Jackson another good option, to kind of showcase themselves. So that's what I feel about Sancho at the moment, guys. If you've got something to say about him, let us know in the comment section. But realistically, I think we just need to focus on the two games that we've got in hand. And let's quickly move on to the next one. Hugo Ekiteke. I've not really watched this guys too much this season, but I've seen some couple of highlights. Is a good striker, to be honest. It's someone that looks reliable as well. It looks like a hungry striker, but the fact is we are far away from. I mean, we there's no time for Chelsea Football Club to start exploring. We can't be exploring at the moment. We need to make the deal done. I mean, we need to get the business done straight away, guys. Straight away, guys. I mean, it's time to get the deal done. We're not in the hierarchy of, trying to loiter around, trying to, kind of experiment and all those stuff. No, let's get the business done, guys. Let's get a proven striker. Let's go into next season and we have a striker that could score 15, 20 goals for us in 3, 4 months. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, guys. It's not something that we should be exploring by now. We know the problem, we know what we want. Let's get it done. We all know this transfer window is gonna be a very, very busy one. A very, very busy transfer window, but especially talking about strikers. I mean, 80% of the top teams in Europe are looking for a striker. So we need to get the business done as soon as possible. And for me, it's not about getting the deal done, but about getting the right players in, that can make a difference. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I see Hugo Ikiteki as another striker, another potential. And I've been saying this for a couple of months. We don't need the potential. Right now, Chelsea has got too much of potential players that we are open on to improve in next coming years, which is good. But at the same time, we need to solve the recent problem. We need to solve what is on ground. We need to focus on what we've got on ground, and that's it. That's why we need to go for an experienced player. So for me, I would say signing Hugo Ikiteki is not something that I'm seeing as a good deal for us. I would prefer us to go out there to sign a very good striker that's got a very good track record. Experienced player that's been scoring two-figure goals in 2, 3 seasons. So yeah, that's what I feel about Hugo. He's a very good player. I respect him a lot, but I'm sorry, mate. We need something different. We need a proven striker, a proven striker. Yeah, though. So that's like Hugo Ikiteki. I hope Chelsea, shouldn't push forward for this guy. He's a very, very good striker, but oh no, it's not just my own choice. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but for me, it's not the right choice. To be honest, it's not the right choice. So Enzo Fernandez, there was a news around Enzo Fernandez today, and it says, just trying to express himself, what he goes through in the first 6 months as a Chelsea player, and this is just relating to what I just said right now. When players come into the Premier League, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different challenges, it's a different, you know, uh, I mean, in terms of everything, it's a different, it's a different league with very, very intense, that requires an intensity. So when players come, they struggle a lot. They struggle a lot because Premier League is a very fast, very, very fast league whereby you need to think ahead. You need to be clinical. You need to be physical, mentally. You need to be very, very focused. And that's why you can see like a player like Enzo Fernandez that has a massive experience in the World Cup and all these things came back to Chelsea and struggled. So yeah, that's it. So he explained a lot of things that he went through, and yeah, that's how he is. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was such a time last season where Pochettino had to put Enzo Fernandez on the bench, and we really did well as a football club. I don't know if you guys can still remember, but I remember vividly last season Enzo Fernandez had to go on the bench, and we are winning games. So that's how important it is. That's how you need to look at things. Sometimes how intense the Premier League is. It's not about coming being a World Cup champion, or you're coming from. No, it doesn't work that way. Champions League is a very different atmosphere. You need to learn. You need to take a time to learn physically, mentally, and a lot. It requires a lot of things. So I felt so much for him, and it's a hard time for him. I remember when he came, he was struggling a lot. He couldn't get into his form, and of course, sometimes, most of the times, the players' performance are being decided by the coach. I don't really see Enzo Fernandez, working in the good pathway with Pochettino. I think the both of them doesn't go, in a very good way. So, and yes, we've seen how he struggled, and I could see a lot of people complaining about Enzo Fernandez. Oh, Chelsea has spent a lot of money on another useless, kind of midfielder and all those things. But at the end of the day, it pays off, guys. It pays off, and I'm just happy that he realized that he needs to work hard. He needs to work hard to get into the Premier League, to fit into the Premier League pattern. And yeah, we can see Enzo Fernandez is improving every week, every week in, week out. And I can't wait to see what's gonna come around for him next season. We've seen how he performed very well this season, scoring goals, making an assist. I mean, I personally felt like the only thing Enzo Fernandez is lacking at the moment is the ability to track back and support the CDM. So he needs to work more on that. So I think every other thing for now is good. He started being the box to box player, and you know, he's really doing well, to be honest. It's what you guys know, and when I saw this news today, I was like, this is what the Premier League is. You have to go through a lot of things to get into the Premier League. I think most times, especially the midfielders, they struggle a lot to understand what it takes to be in the Premier League. So, guys, this is all we've got for today. Let me know what you guys think about this news for today. Sancho, Hugo Ekiteki, and the mixed feelings around how Enzo Fernandez felt in his first season at Chelsea, first 6 months at Chelsea. Uh, Big ups to you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, guys. The analysis is showing that more people are watching the video, but the less people are subscribing to this channel, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Smash the subscribe button, like, follow, as we are always here to bring you enough of content. And of course, we are still very much looking for people that are really, really interested in analysis. If you are one of the Chelsea fan, that you feel so much comfortable in terms of analyzing games and podcasts and everything, reach out to us on every platform. We are very much ready to take everybody in and make this platform the biggest platform of Chelsea football fans around the world. Thank you very much, guys. On this, I will see you until the next one, and peace.